This episode of Dreams and Drive is brought to you by Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Hey Dream Drivers, it's Raina here, and I've got something exciting to share with y'all today. You know we're always on the hunt for that perfect refreshment, and let me tell you, Starry Lemon Lime Soda hits different. There's something about that crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor that just brings the good vibes and great taste every time. And the best part, it's caffeine free, so you can enjoy it anytime, anywhere without the jitters. Whether you're catching up with friends, taking a moment for yourself, or just need a refreshing pick-me-up, a crisp, cold sip of Starry is like a little burst of in every can. It's the perfect companion for all those moments that make life sweet. So what are you waiting for? It's time to see other sodas. Go find Starry now in stores or online and experience that refreshingly crisp taste for yourself. Stay refreshed, stay dreaming, and let's get into this episode. Hey Dream Drivers, welcome to this episode of Dreams and Drive. This is a solo episode. As you know, Dreams and Drive is all about teaching you how to take your dreams from park to drive. A lot of you guys are in neutral. A lot of you guys are stuck. I was just taking some time to look at some survey responses that I got back in February of 2024. And, I've been in this state of just trying to figure out what's next for the brand, been trying to build, been trying to grow, also been a bit hard on myself. So I wanted to make this solo episode about this recent epiphany I had, and I want to share with you just the crazy things that happened. It's kind of like, I think I'm going to title this episode, Was It Fate or Coincidence? I don't know. Sit back. This is a story time. I'm not going to make it too long, but what I want you to get out of this is sometimes we know the answer and the universe will conspire to validate it for us. And you have to look at the signs around you and stop ignoring the signs. So let me kind of give you some context to this. For the past 10 months, I've been working with the SCORE mentor. So SCORE is a resource that you can get a free mentor. They're usually retired and to help you with some part of your business. And so I signed up to get a SCORE mentor, and my mentor has been trying so hard to help me kind of steer the Dreams and Drive car into the next lane, into the next avenue, into really getting me to have a growth mindset and to focus. So a lot of you guys are like, how do I focus? I think bringing in someone who's a coach, a mentor, an accountability partner can really help you focus as you're trying to build your dreams. And so, recently we've been really trying to think about what can be the different revenue sources for the podcast. And I've been trying to figure out what is it that I want to do? What is it that there's like, who am I? Maybe the larger question that I've been really trying to discover and just trying to revalidate for myself or just redefine is, who is Raina? What am I doing? What's my purpose? What's going on? I've had some like really crazy things. I kind of sometimes think I have like, not psychic powers, but I definitely feel like I have like a spiritual power in the sense of just being very in on like emotions, other people's emotions and things that are going on. Like freaky things be happening to me sometimes. And it's just weird how it all plays together and how it all just kind of comes together in some way. I even sometimes feel like I have a guardian angel who's trying to steer me and guide me and just trying to refocus me when needed. But that's another story for another day. So like for the past week, I've been in this real state of like just trying to figure things out and just trying to like really think like, what is it that I really want to do? I'm going to give you some more context here, which I think will help. So this is how the story goes. It's all going to make sense, trust me. Back when I was in college and I was an intern at CBS, I used to take the train every day from my town into New York City. And one day on the train, I met this older guy. His name was Simon, and he was just so fabulous. He told me about his husband. He told me about all the things he was doing, and he was just this companion that I used to have to go into the train every day during this one summer into New York City. I loved like waiting for him in the morning. We had our little chat, and then we would go. So that happened that summer. I had his, got his number. I think we were supposed to meet up. He lives in, a city close to me, and we're like, oh, let's do dinner with your husband or whatever it was. Like, I was just so inspired by just his life stories and all that he used to tell me. That was, I want to say, maybe my junior year of college. I had not seen Simon for years. One day, my sister comes into New York City to have lunch with me, and we go to this random Thai restaurant, or Vietnamese restaurant, I should say, and, close to my job. And there's a booth. There's a guy in a booth, and I recognize his voice, and it's Simon. And I just instantly perk up because I'm like, wait, what are the coincidences, right? At this point, I was pregnant, I believe. Was I pregnant? Yeah, I think I was pregnant. And, I was just so like, wait, how is this possible? So I interrupted his lunch and said, hey, Simon, you remember me? And I don't think he 100% remembered me, but until I looked into my phone and I had his number and I tried to tell him the context of, years ago we used to take the train together. He said, oh my gosh, yes. We chatted a little bit and then that was that. Let me tell you guys, the next week I saw Simon on the train. It was kind of like we were taking the same train into the city, even now as an adult, but I never really saw him or we never really collided. We collided with each other for probably the next 4 train rides, and we kind of caught up. This episode of Dreams and Drive is brought to you by McDonald's. So y'all know that the OG Big Mac is a fan fave, and for the first time in 50 years, the Big Mac sandwich now comes in chicken a la the Chicken Big Mac sandwich. I know you're probably thinking, what? Yeah, there are now 2 Big Mac sandwiches in the Mac lineup to enjoy. Since the OG Big Mac will always remain an icon, the Chicken Big Mac is here only for a limited time. So let's get into it. What is it? The Chicken Big Mac is 2 juicy chicken patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles on a sesame seed bun. And then you got the Big Mac, that's 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun too. So I'm so excited to try the Chicken Big Mac because I'm already a Big Mac girl and I love chicken, so it just makes sense. And of course, I'm going to get a medium fries to go with it and just hope that one of the kids don't eat them before I do. The Chicken Big Mac, it's not a Big Mac. Get it while you can at participating McDonald's. Hey, Dream Drivers, if you're like me, you know the struggle of dealing with a wild child who just won't keep their diaper on. That's why I'm excited to share my favorite Pampers Cruisers 360, the ultimate baby-proof diaper for your little explorer. Pampers Cruisers 360 features a 360-degree stretchy waistband instead of the usual tabs. This unique design helps prevent your baby from removing their diaper, which means no more unexpected messes. And trust me, this is a game changer. One of the best parts, Pampers Cruisers 360 offers up to 100% leak-proof protection with a gap-free fit no matter how your baby moves. It's super easy to remove too. Just rip the sides, roll it up with a disposal tape on the back, and you're good to go. Try Pampers Cruisers 360 with the new Pampers Free and Gentle wipes for healthy baby skin. They're made from 100% plant-based cloth that grips the mess, with Free and Gentle mess meets its match. Add Pampers Cruisers 360 and Free and Gentle wipes to your cart or pick them up at your local grocery or big box store. Say goodbye to messes and hello to more fun with Pampers. Remember, for trusted protection, trust Pampers, the #1 pediatrician recommended brand. We would chit chat and all of this. I was telling him about, me wanting to name my son either Blaze or Diesel. He told me that he had a daughter now and the story of how he and his husband got their daughter or all that stuff. And his daughter's name was Audi, which is so crazy because, my son's name is Axel. So he also had a daughter with a car name, and it was just very, very weird. That was a year ago. I got pregnant, went on maternity leave, have not seen Simon since. So this is where this part of the story, we're like, Raina, where are we going with this? It's all going to make sense. Haven't seen Simon since maternity leave. The last thing that we kind of left on was him telling me, he named his daughter Audi and, really being a fan of car names. That was it. So as of late, I've been really trying to figure out what is it with Dreams and Drive that I want to do. Um, just trying to navigate motherhood. And the crazy thing is, I am also somebody who likes to sleep. But a few nights ago, I fell asleep putting Diesel and Axel to sleep, and I woke up and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was so upset with myself because I didn't want to fall asleep putting them to sleep, but sometimes that happens. And I kid you not, for the next 4 hours, I could not go to sleep. I was fully up, and it was like my brain was like, Raina, you got to figure this out. You got to figure this out. I was on Instagram going through everything I've ever done, looking at projects I've done with other people, writing this whole list of like trying to really crank out Dreams and Drive 2.0. What does it look like? Like fleshing it out in this way that I've never done it before. I'm someone who likes to sleep, so me just being up and not being able to go to bed was a sign that I knew I just had to go in and fully attack. And I make this huge list of things. And one of the other things that I've also been thinking about is, career-wise, what is it that I want to do? How does this all make sense into who Raina is and what am I building? I've been questioning a lot of things in my life. And finally, I went to bed maybe around like 5 o'clock in the morning, had to be up at 7:30 to get the kids ready and to get into the city because I had to work in the city. This is what you do when your love of the sneaker game has you chasing all the limited editions, the classics, and the real ones. You go to eBay, score all your once-in-a-blue moons, and check off your wish list of hard-to-finds. So when those fresh sneakers deserve a hoodie just as real, go for authentic streetwear with expert-verified accessories to match, like timeless watches, vintage and designer bags, and more jewelry than you can wear at once. Yeah, eBay. It's the place for new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion. eBay. Things people love. This episode of Dreams and Drive is brought to you by McDonald's. Fashion loves Black style, but Black designers don't always get their shine. That's why McDonald's has partnered with 5 rising Black designers and 5 industry insiders to help change more than clothes. The designers have hit culture's biggest red carpets and runways and connected with fashion industry insiders for ongoing career-changing mentorships, all while building their brands and bringing along fans like you. Plus, there's so much more to come. Want to see what's happening with these designers on the come up? Follow their journey on Instagram at WeAreGolden. So the next day, after my 2 hours of sleep, I head on to the train. And because my son didn't have school that day, he was home with his dad, I didn't rush in the morning. Sometimes the mornings are hectic because we're always rushing. And so I didn't rush this day because I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take the later train. If I get into work a little bit later, it's all right. I get to the train station. There's this crazy lady. I'm going to call her crazy, or I don't want to say crazy. She was somebody who you could tell she had definitely mental health issues. She was scaring everyone. She was talking to herself. She was screaming at people. People were scared to kind of approach her because she kind of seemed like she could be violent. So I told myself, I don't want to be on any train car next to her. So I kind of go further down on the platform from where I normally am so I can get on like a car that is not going to be anywhere close to where she is. I just didn't want to deal with that in the morning. I'm like, I want to have a peaceful morning. I'm on a different part of the train. We get into New York City. If you've ever been in New York City Penn Station, there's different ways that you can go back up into like the main lobby area. And I am walking up the stairs. Normally I try to get off in the New Jersey Transit area, but I'm walking up the stairs and I'm realizing I'm heading towards like the main train hall, which I said, it's okay. I look down. There's like a landing. You can kind of see the platform where you get off the train. And I see Simon. I haven't seen Simon in like months because the last time I saw him was before I went on maternity leave. And something tells me, Raina, go talk to Simon. And I race down the stairs. It's kind of a little confusing because everyone's coming up the stairs. Like, why are you going back down the stairs? I'm racing down the stairs. I turn the little corner. I don't see Simon. I go back to the stairs. She's going up the stairs. So I grab one to him and I'm like, Simon. And he looks at me. He's like, what? And I'm like, oh my God, hey. He's like, first of all, you look fabulous. I was like, thank you. And I could tell that he looked a little surprised. He kind of looked a little bit down. We never talked about it. But when I first looked at him, he just looked a little bit solemn. And it's funny because we start walking, we get into the normal train hall. He's like, so, what time do you have to be at work? And I lied because I was already going to be a little bit late. And I said, oh, I have to be at work till 10:30. He's like, oh, me too. Because I wanted to walk with him. We were walking in the same direction. And I didn't want him to like rush me off, or I didn't want to leave him. Like something was like, Raina, walk with him to your job. And when I tell you the conversation me and Simon had was so validating, so crazy. It was like the sign was there. So we get outside and we're walking up 8th Avenue. I normally walk up 7th Avenue to go to work. We're walking up 8th Avenue. And Simon is telling me, I'm telling Simon about, I barely slept the night before. I've been thinking about what is it that I want to do. And he's like, you know what, Raina, I'm going to tell you a story. And that's all he said. Like I didn't say more than that, but it was like he knew the message he had to give to me. And he just was telling me about his own career, how he wanted to be an opera singer, how it didn't work out, and kind of how his path to becoming a legal secretary and it being the career that he didn't know that he wanted, but he had to make a pivot and he had to not be scared to make a change, knowing that although he made a change, he could still take his passion with him no matter what. And once he was okay with that, that's when things started moving for him. And just hearing this story, and I had kind of known Simon for a long time, and I never realized there was so many other parts to his story that I didn't know. And I just listened. Like as we walked, I just listened. And there were some parts that I was really trying to like really hear what he was saying, because it was like very loud. We're walking in New York City. There's people bumping into us, but I just kept saying, Simon, I'm listening. And it was as if I was being validated in ways that I didn't know. And it was like I needed that message. It all made sense, right? Like me not taking the right train, me looking down at this specific moment just to see him down there in the platform, me lying about not being late for work so that we could just walk together. And I could hear his story as someone who's much, much older than me, just sharing to me how his decision to change his life and be intentional about taking risk and taking chances. And I hadn't even told him everything that was going on with me and all the things that I've been thinking about. Him just telling me all this stuff, it was like, girl, whatever you were planning that night, you need to make it happen. So we end up in front of my job and he turns to me, we hug each other and he's like, Raina, you're a smart girl. You got this. Whatever it is that you want to do, you can do it. Don't be afraid. You got this. And then he walked away. Now, if you got to this part of the interview or this part of the episode, you're probably like, Raina, why are you telling us this? First of all, isn't this crazy? Is it fate or is it coincidence? It's one of those things that sometimes you don't understand why things happen until you understand why things happen. And I think I'm in this stage of life where there are signs around me that there needs to be, that change is coming, and I can either not welcome the change or I can run away from the change. And part of welcoming the change is realizing things about how you've done things before are going to have to change. And me being up for those 4 hours, just thinking about all that I've done so well and thinking about all that there is to do and just thinking about my kids, my life, my parents, my future, my partner, like everything I was just thinking about. I think we all have those moments where we have to listen to what the voice inside of us is trying to guide us to. And, no matter what you believe in, right? This is not a religious podcast. For some people, this is God. For some people, this is a higher being. Whatever this is for you, there comes a point when there's a sign that you need to listen and you need to really start believing in yourself. One of the things that I saw in the survey that some people mention as a challenge for them is building their sense of self and their vision for their future. And I think if you're struggling with this, the number one thing I would say is take some time to listen and be one with yourself. Maybe I needed to fall asleep with my kids so that I could be re-energized for the work that I was going to have to do when nobody else was up. That's a word, right? It all makes sense. Sometimes you think that something is messed up, but it's really, really all making sense for you. And if you want to redefine your sense of self, you need to start looking at all those things that you don't want to look at, but it's all there. You already know who you are. I'm telling you, a lot of us, I say this to myself all the time. I don't know who I am. I don't know who is Raina, but I think at our core, we do know, but we're scared to. And I'm going to be real with you. Like for me, I know there's so many things that I know that I need to do, and I'm just scared to accept that's what I need to do. And I spend so much time like saying I need this, I need that, but like I know what it is. At the core of it, a lot of us know what it is. And a lot of us are just scared to kind of take those next steps for fear of who will we leave behind? How will things change? Am I going to actually be able to keep up with whatever it is? I think, we talk about fear of failure a lot, but I think fear of success is a real thing. I share this story with you guys because I think a lot of us have these moments where we have these aha moments. We have these moments where we get the validation and we, it's like the universe is trying to tell us this is what you need to be doing. And the thing that I have to ask myself is, so will I listen or will I not? Will I listen or will I not? And that's my question to you. There's that inner voice within you. There's that inner child within you begging to be seen again. That person who lights up when they're doing something. And I think a lot of us have been so beaten up that we forget about how it feels to be invigorated, how it feels to be passionate and all that good stuff. So I am just sharing this with you because there was just something about the sequence of events that felt otherworldly, felt godly, felt like someone out there was trying to show me a sign, and for the message to come through my, long time train buddy. And the whole essence that I met him on the train, and what does the train symbolize, right? What does the train mean? This coming and going, this movement. There's a lot there. But yeah, that's my story time. Is it fate or is it coincidence? What's that moment like for you? And when you get the validation, however that comes, are you going to listen to it or are you not? These are the questions that dream drivers we have to ask ourselves. And these are the questions that I think that we can answer. Together, alone, who knows?
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So we could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
All right, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you're following us on social media. You can find us at Dreams and Drive on all the platforms. If you want to be on our email newsletter and get email updates delivered right to your inbox, just go to dreamsanddrive.com/join, dreamsanddrive.com/join. This was a short one. I hope y'all loved it. I hope it made sense. I hope you guys don't think I'm rambling here, but I just felt called to share it because there's some of you who've probably had a moment like this, and there's a sequence of events that just don't make sense to you, and you're trying to figure it out. And we all are. All right, keep dreaming, keep driving, and we'll chat again in the next episode. Bye, guys.